Unlike most of my other videos, this one is more of a self-indulgent rant, so if you're not here for that kind of content, feel free to skip this video and move on to the next. But also, if you're new here, this video is not representative of every other video that I've ever done. I have a lot of hidden gems on my channel that I think you'll probably like a lot more than this one. So, without further ado, let me just get into talking. And also, the character in the background is Yuri Katsuki from Yuri on Ice. If you're new to the channel, or, well, even if you didn't know this already, I'm turning 21 in a few days. And it's a scary thought that I'm going to be 21, and my art still feels pretty mediocre. And it's scary because there's always going to be somebody better at you than you, or somebody younger who's better than you, no matter what kind of hobby you're in. But as an artist, it is terrifying to be feeling like you're at a mediocre level. I feel like I'm not improving. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with my art sometimes, and it's tiring. It is it's very exhausting, and it does lead to burnout sometimes. But obviously, I've done videos on this in the past where I talk about dealing with burnout, but I wanted to talk about it now because it's still, it's still an important thing. Even though it doesn't affect me as much as it did in the past, it still does affect me. And I thought it was important as an artist who makes content to kind of share that it still is a rough thing to deal with, because everybody deals with rough patches. Everybody has these moments where they're not feeling up to the best that they can do, or they're not constantly putting out 100% effort. And nobody's going to be able to do that 100% of the time. Nobody's going to be able to make their art perfect 100% of the time. It just feels like recently I should be doing that when I just can't. As an artist, I feel like when it comes to art, I feel like when it comes to everybody else, there's no rules, do what you want, everything's amazing. Even if it comes out terrible, someone out there loves it, because, art is subjective. Anyone everywhere has their own opinion of art and what they constitute as good art and what they think is the best kind of art. Because some people like realism, some people like anime art style, some people like just like general cartoons. So there's something for everyone. But it feels like when it comes to me, there's this general, I have this big expectation of myself to be better than I actually am, and it causes me to hate every single art piece that I make, even if it's good, even if people tell me they like it, even if people say, wow, this anatomy is really good on the piece. I just can't get myself to enjoy looking at the piece. I can't get myself to appreciate that I've drawn it, and I can't get myself to kind of wrap my head around the fact that it's okay to be, not the best, and it's not, it's not something you have to deal with. And I think part of it is gifted kid burnout, which is I think it's a whole nother topic, and it's a whole nother video that would need to be created, but it's so tiring to deal with. Obviously, even though I hate my own art sometimes, I'm not gonna stop creating. I have an art channel, gotta run that. But no, I do genuinely enjoy creating 90% of the time. I do genuinely enjoy being able to make things, and I think it's such a cool skill that I have, and it's so amazing that I have it. I just feel like that for my age, I'm just not as skilled as I should be. I'm not where I want to be. And it feels impossible to improve. And I think this is partially because when you're doing the same thing over and over again, and you're doing similar things and trying to keep up with trends and stuff, I feel like you don't really notice the improvement, especially with art, because once you've got to a certain point in art, the amount of level you improve kind of reduces. So it's kind of like in Minecraft with Minecraft experience points. The higher level you are, the more experience points you need to get to the next level. And it's the same with art in the sense that the more you know, the harder it is to get to the next level of art, because you need to know even more, or you need to be able to do even more. And I think a lot of it is muscle memory and being able to correlate, what's the word? Make your head and your hands, coordinate. I think a lot of it is coordination and getting your hands to kind of recreate the image that you've made in your head. Or at least that's how I see it with my own art. I have a very distinct visual in my head of what I want to draw sometimes, or pretty much most of the time, actually. And a lot of the times, my hands just aren't coordinating with me, and it feels like I don't have the muscle memory and the skill to be able to do what I want. And I guess in that sense, art is pretty limited because, you're only able to do what you've learned to do, or what you're learning to do. And it does suck because it's demotivating, it's demoralizing, and honestly, it's just tiring to handle. And I was thinking about this pretty much recently because obviously I'm turning 21 soon, and I still kind of have the same art style from when I was like in high school, which there's nothing wrong with keeping the same art style. I do definitely think I've improved, don't get me wrong. I just feel like I've not improved as much as I should have for the amount of time I've spent drawing, which, give or take, it's whatever. And I feel like a lot of people are going to feel this way about their own art. They're going to feel about this way about their own stuff. But I just thought it was important to make this video because obviously it's good to not feel alone, and it's good to kind of, even though it's a sad video, or like not even sad, it's kind of just like an awkward video, like realization video. Even though it's like that, there's still something to learn from it, and there's still something to gain from, understanding that even other people struggle with this, and even other people just like aren't up to par with themselves. And I think I think a lot of it is with social media as well, is that we kind of forget that there's no linear path of like evolution, I guess. There's no linear path for growth when it comes to art. Like, everybody takes a different journey, and everybody's learning different things at different times. Someone learns anatomy at 12 years old, and another person might learn it at 40 years old, and there's no time limit, and that's great. It just feels like sometimes for me, I'm not where I should be, and I don't know. Another thing is, right, this is to do with the background video, actually, but when I did these glasses, like, how was I so bored? I just, like, bear in mind, this pencil doesn't erase. Like, it's the thickest pencil, I don't know, it just doesn't like to erase, but damn, I really just went in, I didn't even sketch it out, I was like, yeah, I'm putting the glasses on, and just did it. And I think that's something that I find interesting, is that with art, you have the confidence to do certain things and not other things. Like, once you've done something so many times or so many other times, you just kind of do it and you don't have to struggle with it. And I think it's kind of interesting. Overall, I am really grateful as an artist to be where I am and to be able to do things that I do. For example, I do commissions and stuff, and people pay for my art. And to me, that's kind of crazy because, obviously I hate my art sometimes. Obviously, I love my art most of the time, but there are times where I hate it, and it's so crazy because, like, people are paying for things that I really, like, don't like, and even though I enjoyed the process, I don't like the outcome sometimes. So it's kind of crazy that people pay for it, but I am really grateful to be in a place, and I'm so grateful to my past self for, like, actually drawing and sticking with it, because now I have something to show for it. I have, like, skills that I can put to the test and things that I can do with my art, which is, it's really nice, and it's something that I'm very grateful to my past self for, like, continuing. So, if you're young, even if your art's terrible, please continue art. You don't have to stop just because your art's bad. Even with singing, when people sing, even if they're singing bad, they're enjoying it, and it's something that they genuinely enjoy, so why would you stop, Overall, art is cool, art is fun, art is epic, you can get a lot of transferable skills from it, and yeah, thank you for watching this video. I feel like it was a bit of a sad video, but also kind of like, yeah, I'm glad other people can relate. And without further ado, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Have an amazing day. I hope you guys get creating, and even if you don't like your art, just remember that just remember someone somewhere will love your art, and also that it is helping you grow.